Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are one more sleep away from the third Saturday in October. And man, you can talk about rivalries. You guys know that I hate Georgia, cannot stand Georgia. Some people hate Alabama just a little bit more. Some people hate the Gators. A lot of people, like me and Coach Jay, people that grew up in our era usually hate Florida because the SEC East was always on the line, but the bottom line is the third Saturday in October. That's what SEC football is about. It's a rivalry game, and it's interesting, man. It is an interesting matchup, and we got so deep into it on Wednesday night, Talkin VAWLS Live, talking about how the last 2 weeks, both of these teams are kind of struggling to figure out who they are. Tennessee goes on the road to Arkansas with a loss. They come back against a mediocre Florida team. They win in overtime. And then you look over at Alabama. They lost to Vanderbilt on the road. Are you kidding me? Vanderbilt, everybody out there in the universe talking about how Tennessee and their strength of schedule and who they played and who they've lost to. You lost to Vanderbilt? Bro, come on. And then they struggle, but they survive against South Carolina. Both of these teams have issues they got to clean up, and we're going to get into it. If you've never been here before, we're not experts or insiders, but Coach Jay does coach a little football on the West Coast, and he coaches defense. Coach Rice coaches football here in the great state of Tennessee, and he coaches offense. So they're going to give you their breakdown. They're going to give you keys to the game. We're going to get into it, but I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up. That's easy. It takes 2 seconds. Also, attack the comment section. You can give us your breakdown. You can give us your keys to the game. If you don't have a comment or you don't have a question, you can just put a GBO. That does help the channel. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Tomorrow is game day. We'll go live an hour before kickoff. It's a fan call-in show. You guys get to come on. We'll also be live immediately following the game. Quick scheduling note, Sunday, we typically do a fan call-in show. Coach Jay coming in town. We're going to hang out. We're going to take the day off. So Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, that's going to be the fan call-in show. So make sure you tune in, dial in for all that good content. But let's get into it. Coach Rice, let's talk about this offense for Alabama. What are they going to bring to the table tomorrow afternoon? 3:30 kickoff. It's an orange out. What's Alabama bringing?
Well, we all know the key two guys. It's Jalen Milroe and 17-year-old Ryan Williams. If you could, figure out how to slow down Ryan Williams which we saw South Carolina do that a good bit last week. It slows down the offense because that's Jalen Milroe's main guy through the air. Yes, they have a couple other guys. You got Grenard, the transfer from Washington. You got a couple other Dupree, the tight end. They use him all over the field. That you'll see them motion him a lot, like Tennessee motions Kitzelman and Stays and Davis. So you can, track him, and normally that's where the ball goes, whether it be in the run game or play action off of it. And then we got to be aware of the RPOs. DeBoer is very famous for motioning to open up pass plays. So you're going to see lots of motion, lots of, not trick plays, but very different plays that you're not used to seeing. DeBoer is a different type of offensive scheme. He likes to utilize his playmakers and get them in space. And that main playmaker is Ryan Williams and then Jalen Milroe in the run game. So you're going to see lots of different variations of run. They love going empty and running Jalen Milroe in the pin and pull concept or straight QB power. And then Haynes and Jam Miller are the two running backs that you'll see get the bulk of the carries. They're powerful. They're very maneuver. They can maneuver the ball through the pocket. Through the line very well. And then you'll see them, especially Haynes, get the ball out in space in the pass game. So Got to focus in on Jalen Milroe, keeping them in the pocket, get a pass rush, and then identify wherever Ryan Williams is, and CJ Dupree. Those are the two targets Jalen Milroe likes to hit, and then Jonathan Grenard as well. So you got to identify where their playmakers are and how, and be able to stop whatever ways Kalen DeBoer tries getting on the ball in space.
Let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. We talked about this a little bit Wednesday night. This is not your Nick Saban Alabama defense. This ain't your daddy's Alabama defense. You look at statistics wise, 41st in scoring defense, 55th in total defense, 63rd in passing defense, 55th in rushing defense. So it ain't your Alabama of old. And we got an offense at Tennessee that's trying to, I said, find their identity. I don't know if they need to find their identity. Their identity is running the football, and they're doing that successfully. But I think they just need to be firing on all cylinders. But Coach Jay, what is Alabama going to try to do on Saturday against Tennessee?
Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with Kane Womack's defense, you might be familiar with Dave Womack, his father. You would have seen him last in the Southeastern Conference, coaching a 2000, I think it was, what was it, like a 15-16 team under Hugh Freeze, a really stingy defense that beat a Nick Saban team. So you can see why maybe Nick Saban kind of liked the idea of Kane Womack coming into town, kind of like the idea of Kalen DeBoer taking this offense to another level. Similar in some ways to what Nick likes to do. Nick really kind of started in the 3-4. He listed everything in the 3-4, came from a specialty point of view of that 3-4, but really kind of evolved into a 4-2-5. Well, this Kane Womack defense is what we call 4-2-5 swarm defense, right? So a lot of similarities between a straight nickel or a straight 4-2-5, but it's evolved a little bit into this swarm D. A lot of similar positions. Like a DN, like the Leo, they'll call bandit, right? But that's basically your James Pierce, your stand-up, rusher. You have your sting backer, which is basically like your will linebacker, your wolf, who is going to be your Mike, your strong side, your husky is going to be your star position, and the rover is going to be that strong safety position. So if you hear those names out there, you can kind of do a little bit of translating for yourselves there on the sideline. But this defense, has a lot of advantages. It's based on setting traps in the zone. It's based on playing actual players coming through the space of your zone rather than actually playing the space in the zone in front of you. It's designed on alignment. If there's a lot of motion, I don't foresee Josh Heupel for this reason coming out and running a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy, if you will, because this 4-2 swarm defense can move really well to this motion, right? It doesn't really matter. It can run mirror image no matter where you are. I expect for Heupel to pick his matchups in this game and stick with them and not to move his chess pieces too much. I think he's going to like whatever he puts out there because of the way this alignment can move and how it's designed to play against the boundaries. Make no mistake, though, this 4-2-5 swarm defense is an evolution of the 3-3-5, of that defense that's been causing us trouble, of the Bud Foster defense, of the Gary Patterson defense. They're all cut from the same cloth. It's 4-2-5, but it's a little bit of mixture of that 3-4 and 3-3-5 in there as well. So expect them to try to confuse us with a lot of different linebacker looks, a lot of different safety looks. Nico needs to be very aware of a really, really good friend of his named Damani Jackson out of Mater Dei High School in Southern California, a former USC player. Nico has played years and years and years of 7-on-7 against Damani Jackson. Needs to watch out. Damani has 2 game-winning interceptions. Keep an eye on that, and we'll keep an eye on this defense.
Again, guys, a couple of quick ways you can help the channel. Smash the thumbs up, share out the link, all that good stuff. If you like what we do, if you like these game day breakdowns, you want more of this, think about hitting that join button. You can join the channel for $1 a month. That's it. Custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, and guess what? Coach Jay, Coach Rice, both came from the fan call-in show. Now they're a part of post-game shows, Wednesday night shows, recruiting shows. They come on for the fan call-in shows. They are a big part of this community and of this channel, and I'm grateful for them. So think about supporting the channel. There's a link in the description below as well where you can do that. Let's get into keys for the game. Coach Rice, what are your keys? What does Tennessee have to do to come out of this thing with a win? And man, it's such a huge game for both programs. We win this game tomorrow afternoon, we got a good shot at this college football playoff. What does Tennessee have to do?
Offensively and defensively, play clean and efficient football. It's the most simple, key you can have. But literally, that's the most important, I think, to get us on the winning side of this football game is playing clean, efficient football. No false starts. No putting yourself behind the chains early and downs. Go win first down. Putting yourself in better situations in the later downs, second and third down. Don't be 1st and 15, 2nd and 12. Do what you know how to do efficiently. Don't be, penalizing yourself. And then second key, target their safeties. Their safeties are not, these elite safeties that we're used to having, seeing Alabama play with. They're not the best of the best. Yes, Malachi Moore's been there forever, but we've targeted Malachi Moore in 2022. We targeted him last year. So they're not the fastest of all fast safeties. So target them, get them in favorable matchups, and go win those one-on-one matchups. That's another thing. That's my last key. Win your one-on-one matchups. That's all over the field. That's defensively, offensively. Offensive line, you have to win your one-on-one matchups. Wide receivers, you have to win your one-on-one matchups. Nico, if you're eye-baiting a safety, win that matchup against him and take him elsewhere and then hit the guy coming across the field. Win your one-on-one matchups, play clean, efficient football, and, do what you know how to do. That's how we win the game. Those are your keys for the game from Coach Rice.
By the way, Coach Rice, he can't see what's going on in the back room. I can. When you said attack the safeties, Coach Jay's giving a fist pump. And when you talked about winning your one-on-one matchups, that may be the key number one for me, man. Win your matchups. And I know, look, this video is going up on a Friday afternoon. We beat it to death by now. 11 guys have to go out and win their matchups. And if they do, Tennessee's got the talent. And I think they've got the schemes, and I think they've got everything they need to go out and play successful football. And I feel like we're so close.
So close.
I feel like Arkansas, we were so far away. And then Florida, we're so close. And I think we've got an opportunity to take the next step. And what better team to do it against than Alabama. Coach Jay, let's dial it in. Let's give a good 63 effort here. We're going to get your keys to the game and also your prediction. Spoiler alert. Coach Jay's undefeated in Needless Stadium. Let's get into it.
I love what Coach Rice had to say, right? These safeties are going to be a point of contention. Nico needs to win that matchup. We need to win that matchup when they are blitzing. And Coach Rice nailed it again, too. We need to major in the minors in this game. And what I mean by that is exactly what Coach Rice said. Our one-on-one matchups. Win what is front of you. Win your one-on-one matchups. Beautifully, beautifully said. Execution in everything that we do. Okay. Primarily in this game, I'll give you two examples of what I mean in execution. We need to execute against the quarterback run for Milroe, and we need to execute in them baiting the help in that comes to support that quarterback run with the deep ball. That's what's been happening with Bama, right? They suck them in with the quarterback. They get you with the deep ball. McCoy, Ricky Gibson, there's going to be times where you're out on an island. There's going to be times where safeties need to come help in this game. You guys have shown what you can do on this football field. Be experts, major in your minors, and execute in that. Defense, help with the quarterback, contain them, and we will contain this offense. The next step, it's just a real simple one, guys. It's just O line. I think they took a step, right? I think they took a very small step, but you could see it, right? They're getting push in the second half in Arkansas. They're getting a small push in the second half against Florida. We need that push in the first half. We get a push in that first half. Alabama hasn't been great against the run. We get a push early. It's going to open up those safety attacks that Coach Rice is talking about. Nico, you got to identify those early. You got to be better. We all know that. Nico, I know you can be better. Go get it. Let's go get a victory. I don't believe this team has lost their confidence. You know, I just came from Vol calls right now, guys. I just came from Vol calls. Heupel was insulted when they said this offense has lost their competitive edge and lost their mojo, so to speak. It was asked over at Vol calls today. His look on his face said it all. All. He was insulted. It disgusted him to hear that. He thinks he's still got a confident team. He's pissed, but he thinks he's close. Go get the last 5%. Go get it. Go Big Orange. I got the Tennessee Volunteers winning this game in a barn burner, 33-28.
Close. You're close. You're close to my score. 31-27 is what I got. What'd you say, Coach? You were close too.
34-31.
Yeah, we're all pretty close together. Huge game coming up.
Score 30. I think you have to score 30 to win this game.
Somebody asked
Coach.
that. Yeah, somebody asked that Wednesday night, and we didn't get to it. That's a good. I think 30 is a good number. So again, it comes back to our offense, which has been struggling a little bit versus their defense. Yeah. That is not the defense of old for Alabama. What are your keys to the game? What do you need to see from Tennessee? What is your score prediction? Put it in the comment section. We would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow, game day, will be live an hour before kickoff. Fan call-in show. You guys get to come on, hang out. We'll also be live immediately following the game, so tune in for that. But that is going to do it for this one. For Coach Jay, for Coach Rice, my name's Boogie Bentley. I'm going to send y'all out with a good one. Go Big Orange. Hey, if you in this box, you want to get y'all to say it with y'all heart.